Hello everyone, welcome to another Google Hangout. I'm Colby. You might recognize me from some of our previous Hangouts on here. And today we're going to be talking about the new offerings on the Reseller channel. So let me do some introductions first. First, we have with us Anurup from over in India.
Hi.
Morning, Anurup. And we also have Judd Jacobs. You guys might recognize him as well.
Hey everyone.
And then back with me in the room here, we have Brian.
Good morning or evening, or wherever you're at.
Yes.
Good day.
Anywhere in between.
And also a new face, we have Chelsea. Chelsea.
Hey everybody. So I've been with the team for a couple months now. I've been working on getting familiar with the products, the issues, their goals, what the history's been so far. Speaking of which, our website builder version 7 launched, so it's ready for you to sell. I'm going to continue working on getting you guys great inventory, but to talk about the inventory, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Thanks for joining us right now. So I'm responsible for the product and hosting team for advanced hosting, and so really what we've done is expose the advanced hosting products, the new products, to the reseller audience, and I'll go ahead and walk through some of the features, some of the information that we have available, some of the updates that are coming your way, and then we'll walk through some specific questions that you guys might have.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right, great. Thanks. And so really quickly, just an overview. So we're going to kind of walk through an introduction. We're going to talk about your client experience, really introduce the products, a feature review, a feature walkthrough, then some quick Q&A for us, and happy to stay on and answer any additional questions you guys might have. And walking through just an introduction of our team. So we are happy to be contacted by you all at any time possible. So I'm responsible for product marketing. Jen Grondin's our product management lead, and then Travis Smith is our product developer. So we'll make sure this presentation is ready for you guys and available publicly after this launches. And so talking about the client and audience experience, really kind of focus on the new opportunities and server offerings for resellers. What we've done is taken the previous hardware. There has been some end-of-lifing done with some of the previous versions of our VPS servers, and moved into like what we see as updated, really great infrastructure, and made an investment in the hosting, and we're exposing that to the resellers as well. The feedback that we've got from customers and clients over the months and years and getting these products ready is really focused on the technology behind the product, investment in infrastructure, and really moving forward and giving you full options for VPS and dedicated servers. And taking a look at the product information, we want to make sure that on our web pages and as we talk to clients that we make sure that we have the information displayed clearly to make shopping for them much easier and supporting it much easier for the teams. Also want to make sure that we have those spec comparisons, and there are now like standalone Linux and Windows pages that we didn't have in the past before, so know that both VPS and dedicated products have Linux and Windows offerings. And then really based on that feedback, there's a simplified purchase path to kind of walk through. It's a different client experience for sure. We take a look at some of the comparisons that we've made, and so one thing that we've done too is we want to make sure that we identify that there's different management levels available. Now we know that some of you guys manage your clients directly, and it's really kind of do it for me kind of audience that you work with. That being said, there are some separate management and automated management tools available to you guys. The other thing that's been included too is we take a look at competitors. And right now we'll share that the products for VPS and dedicated are located in the US data center only. So therefore we take a look at some of the competitors that we have, and these are really US based competitors. As we move into additional data centers and roll out that from our product roadmap, we will keep these updated and keep them pertinent to you. The other thing that we're committed to on the product side, and we'll work with Chelsea and the reseller team to make sure that you guys have the right assets needed. So if there's something that's not displayed on the website, we can accommodate that and build some separate assets that are white labeled or customer facing for you guys. We take a look at the products, and really what I did was this is specific to an India audience as far as like reseller plans are concerned. We take a look at what's happening with what we've done with VPS. It really is like high compute power for those high demand applications. It really is, VPS is built to kind of hit those growth targets the customers need and clients need as they experience that. Clients have access to the 6 quad-core processors, and that's within all of the product tiers. And again, you know, VPS and dedicated for sure are more expensive hosting products, and so for VPS specifically, it's really considered a value-based investment where we're managing the infrastructure for the client, the network, all the stuff that GoDaddy does really well. On the dedicated server side, guys, I want to be clear that these are single tenant VMs. These are really for customers needing high availability storage and bandwidth. All servers, the client does have access to all 4 CPUs. And again, this is a security-based investment. The one thing I want to share with you guys is they really are, both VPS and dedicated, are investments. We're not selling these products or sharing them with clients we're selling them for less than $10, $20, whatever that number happens to be. So really want to make sure that you guys are successful and support you with information, use cases, and the personas needed to talk to your clients. We talk a little bit about the levels of support that we launched as far as GoDaddy is concerned. So we take a look at the self-managed, managed, and fully managed product. Since a lot of the reseller teams really kind of take a look and it's do-it-yourself and you guys are managing your own clients, fully managed might not apply as far as that's concerned. But we take a look at what we do with self-managed. It really is self-service for the client. And you take a look, there's a few things that are available to the client. Really starts with root access. That's both on VPS and DED. There's some basic things that are available. So paid monitoring, backups. We offer single IP address in self-managed. And then we take a look at the managed offering, and really what that means is this is automated management. So we kind of shared there's some advanced support, and what that means is there's automation. So anything that's automated, like the monitoring with client alerts, we monitor the security applications, the single-click migrations available, anything from the patching and stuff done, those are available to the client. Now I will say too that on managed and fully managed, we don't offer. So root access is not enabled to start with. The client can actually select that for themselves if they want to use root access and go that way. And then fully managed, of course, actually, we talk about it. We attach a full dedicated team to the particular product. So it's dedicated advanced support, it's server administration, it's migration services, everything that comes with the fully managed product. And as we talk about a feature review, what's new, and everyone asks too, well, what's different from the old VPS and dedicated products? And there's a lot. Number one is investment in infrastructure. So we have enterprise-grade servers running on Xenon processors that we've really worked hard and kind of taken a look to see what we've done with the past. We've not been good, and I'll be very candid, at end-of-lifing previous products because we have lots of customers on those. The goal is to ultimately move customers and clients up to these new servers as we move forward. So really take a look at the new features, from the OS patching that's automated, that's included at all server levels. Take a look at root access, the availability of control panels with the exception of a self-managed support level. Backups are available, disaster recovery snapshots are available. We talk about support access for the support team. So internally, as you work through some of the management levels, and if you are supporting your clients or need GoDaddy to help participate in some of that support, there's better access for our internal teams to help you with that. So from SSH access, monitoring, installations, and again, dedicated IPs, these things are really important, and we've listened to customers and want to make sure that we have these features available. And then we talk about kind of security and some of the additional support and expert services. So from server security to network to website security, we actually, one of the things I want to mention too is, so for VPS and DED on the managed and fully managed offering, we've partnered with SiteLock. And so SiteLock also includes the, not just the security for the website, but also their CDN and their web application firewall. And the last thing I'll mention is kind of like some of the expert services available. So if there is a need for your clients to have fully managed products in which GoDaddy is managed, there's also additional expert services that we can help you provide either as a reseller or directly to your client. And then a quick feature walkthrough. I want to cover some of the most pertinent features that we have available. So we take a look at the application installs and updates. Installatron is baked into the product for both VPS and DED. We take a look at what we've done with kind of like the managed Linux cPanel servers, the Plesk application installer. These really keep the patches, anything that's done that's updated, makes it available to the client, and that's included with the different product set for both VPS and dedicated. Take a look at root access, and as I mentioned earlier, if the client were to select a self-managed product, it means that root access is definitely turned on. It is the default status for root access. On managed and fully managed, the availability for root access is definitely there, but the client has to select that themselves. And that's a catch. If you guys are supporting your clients directly and you are that first line of defense for customer support, really kind of mindful if you do have clients accessing root access to the servers. The importance of snapshots and backups are crucial because they have an opportunity to really kind of damage, for lack of a better term, their environment, and then you need to restore that as far as that's concerned. So we take a look at monitoring. So one of the other partnerships that I mentioned earlier with SiteLock, we also partner with NodePing as far as our monitoring is concerned. So not only does it have like some detailed uptime and downtime information, we have an option for some of the alerting and stuff. So that is both available to you as a reseller to help you with support. It's available to your clients directly, and it's also available to our support teams internally here at GoDaddy. OS patching is automated for sure, so we take a look at the stack. This happens on a regular recurring basis, and so this is not something that you're having to activate for patching. This is something that we actually do that's built in. So the only time this automated OS patching does not happen is on a self-managed product. So if you have self-managed VPS or self-managed dedicated, you won't hit the OS patching. And then we take a look at the control panels available. We still offer the Plesk and cPanel control panels. Plesk is specific to Windows at this time. Ubuntu is in the works, and we're actually doing some client customer surveys to make sure that that's something that's needed, especially internationally, for those of you supporting international clients. And of course, cPanel is available on Cent 6 and Cent 7. And then we take a look at our backups and really kind of working through the backups. So, backups are on demand. One thing to clearly note that questions we get is like, hey, do we have scheduled backups yet? And the answer is no. We're going to get there. We're going to get to the point where we actually can have those scheduled backups. We do have control through the internal control panel as far as the backups concerned. Disaster recovery backups, we run automatically regardless of the client activating that, with the exception of self-managed products. So those are available 10 days, and there have been some questions saying, hey, what if we have something on the 9th day? And what happens basically is that backup is from the previous 10 days. So know that we monitor that, we have that available to clients. I will share too, if there is a request for disaster backup that's needed by the client or you as the reseller, there is an additional fee for that, and that's something that we can help you guys with and help negotiate as far as that's concerned. The other thing too to note, so all of the server products come with a dedicated IP. Self-managed for VPS and DEN only comes with one. The managed and fully managed levels come actually with 3, and the question comes up, can I purchase additional IPs? The answer is yes. So we are building some in-app add-on support for you guys, for the teams, for the clients, and for the resellers, so that the IPs can be added additionally. Right now we're testing up to 8 to 10 IPs. We don't have an official number, but I will work with Chelsea, Judd, and Jake and company to go ahead and make sure that we get that communication out to you as soon as possible. Talk about the migrations to one-click import. So a lot of times we have clients that we're managing over on the shared hosting side that we will move into a VPS or dedicated product. There was a one-click migration available for those clients specific to cPanel, and that can actually help them move into the VPS environment. Questions come up too when someone asks, hey, are we able to move from the VPS to dedicated environment? While the clients might be a little bit different in the use case for dedicated, the answer is we actually have a team that can help you help your clients move those over, and there's no charge to you as the reseller and the manager of those clients. And last thing I'll mention is kind of like some of the security stuff as far as the website's concerned. Yes, SiteLock is built in, so we are actually covering the cost of licensing for SiteLock. You do not have to purchase additional product when you get managed or fully managed VPS or dedicated servers. That also includes the SiteLock CDN and WAF. So there's some, really some questions regarding: do we have CDN available? Do we have a hardware firewall available? The answer is no, we don't. GoDaddy does not have those things available. With the partnership with SiteLock, we're providing you access to their products in particular, and that, like I said, that's baked into the cost. So there's no additional cost to you. One thing, so as we kind of share out what's happening in the product roadmap, we're going to have additional conversations with the reseller audience to kind of give you insight into what's happening on the product roadmap and development side, and it's really based on your feedback and engagement. So if there are things that your clients are specifically asking for, things that aren't pertinent today or that aren't needed today, but that's happened in the past, or that the industry's moving in a certain direction, let us know. We want to hear from you. We really want to provide that information and get those products updated and get those features the clients need. And so quickly, we're going to cover a quick bit of Q&A. I don't know if there's some questions coming in. I want to make sure, too, that before we close out the conversation, we get those questions answered. Anything that we can answer, I'm happy to follow up on and happy to get our product team and development team on top of it so we can get that information to you. I do want to commit to you developing assets to put in front of your clients, and we can white label those too. So that's something as if we don't have something today on the website experience specific to resellers, I want to make sure that we provide something to you guys that you can put in front of your clients. That's really important to us. So please, I'll work with Chelsea and the rest of the reseller team to make sure that happens. And the last thing I'll kind of share with you, and we'll kind of cover some of the quick questions that you guys might have. I want to extend an invitation out to you guys to our beta for cloud servers. So we're just about to launch our cloud servers. And so basically GoDaddy, has had a cloud servers product in the past before. You actually might have sold it through the reseller program, and the product actually went away. This is a different product. This is actually based on OpenStack infrastructure. We've got 3 APIs from OpenStack feeding the operational infrastructure, and we have a proprietary API that feeds the cloud server infrastructure that we expose to the clients. It's API driven. There's a light control panel. Scalable resources. There's in-product documentation that you haven't had before. We're going to have in-product support that we haven't had before. It might be different for a reseller audience, but for you guys in the technology field and working with these clients, it might be an opportunity for you just to really kind of play with, exploit, and kind of test and destroy one of our cloud servers. So more than welcome to do so by visiting cloud.godaddy.com, and happy to kind of field the invitations to get you guys set up. So from there, I'll take any questions that have come in, some pertinent things that we've discussed, or some key points or pain points you guys might have had in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, you want to kick off?
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff, for going through that presentation there. We have a couple questions. I'll hold off. The ones that are there's some related to resale and some more just about this. I'll start with the ones related to the servers. You did answer the question from Cameron about the site lock. Yes, that is included with the licensing. There's another one here from Shivam. It's a bit of a wall of text here, so I'm kind of trying to paraphrase a little bit. But it looks like they currently have the VDS product. I think it must be the existing one, Virtual Dedicated Server product. And they're talking about that if you change the root password in WHM, it takes 10 minutes to update or change. I don't know if that's going to change any of the new stuff. The server has a terrible habit of blocking IPs coming in with repeat connections, which is expected from their company like theirs, where they have 10 users working. So some kind of firewall going on there. Do you want to answer these?
Yeah. So no. So what I'll share is let's touch on the time for WHM. That is really, we're kind of tied to that. So that's one of the challenges that we have. One thing that we can do is we can have our development team take a look and help tweak the time and actually work on it. So what I'll do is, from the questions that we're getting today, I want to make sure that we take them back to the development team and kind of answer. As far as the blocked IPs, that's going to continue to be a little bit of a problem for us, but the team is working on it as we push more IPs. And one thing that I'll share with you on the cloud server product, which again, it's in beta right now, so it's not available, not for resellers at this point in time. But again, the beta product, we actually have both the dedicated and floating IP to help prevent some of those things. Those are technologies. What will happen with cloud servers today, the purpose of launching cloud servers, ultimately that's going to be the platform for our advanced hosting products, or VPS and DED. So some of those features that we have, that we do include the floating IP, we do have a dedicated IP. There's other things to help minimize some of those experiences that the guys are having. Okay. Those will be resolved, and so that is TBD to yet to come. But those are things that are really helping to shape the product. And the one thing I'll share, I'm not trying to pitch cloud servers 100%. That's not the intention of the call, because we want to make sure that we get you guys the right information. But a lot of technology, a lot of the feedback for you as resellers and your clients giving us, that is going to help shape the cloud product. And again, that is going to be the foundation of the new advanced hosting product. So keep them coming.
Okay, cool. And Shimon, I'm going to ask a couple more. I think it looks like that might be, here's one on VDS. So talking about migrating sites from SoftLayer or a competitor to GoDaddy. They're both WHM servers. How long does it take? And is there support on that? Can you talk to that?
So a couple things. So we can actually, our fully managed team can help support that and actually help that, and there's no additional cost to get those over there. Those are use cases that specifically I want to help you guys work through. So if you have clients that need that, I want to actually talk to them and help them work through. So we have a dedicated team of hosting support specialists that can help them through. And again, it's no cost to help with that migration. The other thing available is, as we talk about international migrations, we've had in the past, and I'll be super candid, a very clunky experience. As far as migrations are concerned, we are working to help not only our internal teams to make sure that we have the right skill set and the right training in place for those guys. We're also looking at third-party vendors and relationships that we might have had at other companies that perhaps don't have at GoDaddy to help make that experience much better. So.
Okay, cool. Those are the questions about the server. Also, Siobhan had a question and some comments specifically around pricing and GoDaddy's pricing and advertising versus the reseller pricing advertising, and has comments about will resellers be able to get some additional discount coupons, such as go as high as 35% or domains as low as $1.99. Mostly because like a lot of GoDaddy's advertising that on TV in their country.
Sure.
So you can kind of speak to that, but we're looking at putting together promos and everything to give you guys the flexibility to get that kind of promotional rates and compete with GoDaddy's pricing. I know that they're very, very competitive. I'm also looking at other pricing options, but I'm still investigating those, seeing if it's going to work for everybody, and I'll be looking to get feedback from you as well as I come up with kind of different structures or possible structures.
And so the one thing I'll share too, so Chelsea and the Reseller Team and I'll work together on the hosting side to make sure that we have resources available as far as the actual, like the dedicated gear is concerned. VPS, I won't say there's like a surplus of some of these things. There are specific incentives that we can actually provide to you as resellers to clients to get them in front of those products that they need. So I'll work with Chelsea directly to figure out what some of those opportunities are, but know that we can deeply discount some of those, like especially like the dedicated servers. There's a huge opportunity. Again, depending on where you're located, these are US-based hosting products, so of course you're inheriting some of that latency, some of those challenges that come with it, but let us know and I'll work with Chelsea and company to make sure that we meet those demands. So.
Okay, thanks, Chelsea, and again, Jeff.
Sure.
This one I'm going to direct over to Anurup. We have both Siobhan and Cameron are asking some questions about support in India, and in Cameron's case specifically about the reseller support. I'll let you kind of talk to the support program and what you're doing with your team.
Sure. So let me take that one. I think from an India standpoint, we've invested significantly on the hosting support. There's a dedicated team who's managing all the hosting escalations and tickets. Let me take that specific feedback from the person who's posted that and we can investigate and reward it. But I can show you there's significant investments going on the hosting side for our support, but we do take that feedback. Thank you.
Great. There was another one from Cameron too that I'm not sure if it applies directly to beyond the managed plan, but he said, is it possible to have like on-demand backup? So not like with the managed plan, but where backup is on a daily basis.
So yeah, the opportunity is definitely there. Yes, it is. So while we don't have scheduled backups today, the on-demand backup's available.
Okay.
And so that's something we can make sure that the guys actually are able to utilize. If there's a problem with the backup, let us know. We want to work with the development team to make sure they have that information. And again, one thing too that I'll share with a lot of international audiences, there's a high demand for Windows servers products, and so GoDaddy is unique in the fact that in our shared hosting environment, we have a Windows offering. In the VPS and both dedicated environment, we also have a Windows offering. The one thing that comes up though is, hey, we really need MS SQL because we're running databases, right? So 2012 is just about to launch. 2014 will launch as well, and so we'll make sure that we get the information both to our international teams and our reseller teams, let them know these products become available and the database becomes available.
Mary has another question. We brought out the WHM, the license in there. Is that included in the virtual and dedicated servers?
So that's something that we can negotiate. So because of the cost of VPS and dev, the answer is going to be yes. And so if there have been past experiences where we're paying for something separately, we can talk about absorbing some of the costs as far as like the product is concerned, so that cost is not passed on. So Judd and company, Chelsea and the team can talk through what that really means and then see where we can kind of mitigate some of those exposures for the customer in that expense.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's see here. So this one's more based on the reseller side of things. Is there going to be any updates to store customability? So a lot of the reseller stores look the same. They just want to know if there's going to be opportunity to kind of differentiate themselves.
Absolutely. So one of my biggest concentrations is inventory, because we want to have a good product to sell. It doesn't matter what your site looks like if nobody wants to buy your product. So that's my number one concentration, but I am looking at different storefront options. Again, I'll be looking at feedback from you guys on kind of the different options there, but I'm looking into our different options and trying to get you more options to not look all the same. So we are looking into it. I know it's really, really important, and right now I don't have any update, but it is something that is like number 2 on my list.
Awesome. And then this one, Jeff, so Varun wants to know, do we have any modules or API which can integrate with the WHM CS or similar automation scripts?
So those are actually being tested in the cloud servers environment.
Okay.
And so those things are tested now. We have some other ones that we perhaps used in the past for the API integration. Let me talk to the development team and get back. So what I'll do is I'll take all the questions that we have, we'll sit with our product and development teams and see what we can do, and then we'll transition between, hey, what can we do with VPS and DED, and then what's actually happening in cloud servers. Cloud servers, you know, good and bad, it's definitely a learning, but there's a lot of the questions that we've had in the past that cloud servers is actually answering. The fact is, number one, right off the bat, we're not exposing them to resellers. And number 2, while we say that, you know, on the product roadmap that that's going to become the underpinnings for VPS and DED, it's not going to happen right away. So let's take those questions and take them to the product and development team.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see what we got here.
Do you want to address Office 365? You know, it is a question earlier, and that we've been trying to answer questions about servers first. So sorry about that, but we are continuing to engage Microsoft in discussions on getting it available for our resellers. Right now, we still don't have an ETA. I'm concentrating on like the rest of products to get those out as well. But right now, no ETA in Office 365. Sorry.
And then, hey Jeff, so one more. Is MS SQL coming with the advanced hosting options?
It is.
It is?
It is. And so it's going to be actually like literally it should have been launched yesterday.
Okay.
And it'll be exposed to the resellers as well. The guys were working last night till 10 o'clock, and the developers. So, like I shared with the team earlier, we'll go ahead and make an announcement to let you guys know that yes, in fact, MS SQL is available. We'll give you the flavors, and what's going to happen is we're going to end up stair-stepping the delivery. So 2012 is going to come out first, and then 2014 will be the quick follow-up.
Okay, gotcha. Very cool. Let's take a look here, see if we have anything else related to the hosting first before we get to any of the other reseller questions here. And great questions, guys. Thank you for asking them. Keep them coming. Let's see here. So this one might be more for Anurup, but you know, will resellers have a dedicated telephone support line, especially for India customers? So if they have to go to Tier 2, then usually they have to go back to the US support, and the time zone difference kind of makes it a bit of a challenge for them. Or I don't know if that's something you want to answer.
I can look into it, absolutely. Try to get a pathway to Tier 2 where I worked on it, and that I'll work with Anurup, see what's available, what we can get done.
Let's see here. That looks like it's about it. If anybody else has any questions, you know, even though the broadcast is about over, you know, feel free to post them. Like Jeff said, we'll definitely follow up online and address those. And any feedback you guys have, let us know. Yeah, that's it.
Sure thing. And then one quick thing too, Colby, I want to share again is that feedback that you guys are giving us is crucial to helping shape how the products perform and operate. Also crucial in how you engage with the reseller and your clients. We're committed, so we do have some, you know, I think Chelsea and I had a chance to sit down yesterday and talk about, you know, really kind of combining efforts and stuff to make sure that we get some things right for the reseller audience. Give us that feedback. I think partnering together, we can actually make some pretty great inroads, and let us know what you guys need. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Actually, there looks like there's a couple more questions about MS SQL coming up, and then also with KVM access.
And then one other question about Shivam on the storefront with the flags and the icons.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that one too before we sign off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. So you know, quickly address the KVM. So we do not have KVM on VPS and dedicated. It is on our cloud server instance. So what will happen is as cloud servers becomes the basic infrastructure platform for the new version of VPS and dedicated, that will be inherited. So you will have KVM. The one thing I'll share too is, so as we talk about, moving to this cloud servers initial product offering, this ultimate infrastructure for GoDaddy, your clients will not see any difference. So they will not experience any change. It's just by default the underpinnings happen to be an OpenStack-based product built on KVM. So, and there's a question about MS SQL. There's one more.
Yeah, it's actually from.
I think we addressed that one earlier.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
okay.
that it's coming or it should have been launched. No
Sorry,
worries.
behind on it.
Country preference for flags. I think Brian mentioned that.
Yeah. So we are working with our international team here on the storefronts and those headers. So in fact, I did see a internal demo with they're completely removing all the flags. So that I don't necessarily know the time frame when that will be released, but the drop downs will not include, just have the actual currency for that country name. And I think we're actually going to the word country too on there because there's some things internationally that become issues when you use the word country. And then as far as country preferences, USA show up on default. You can set your default currency currently in the RCC. We'll talk about also internationalizing that storefront to be able to set your default languages and stuff. There's certainly ongoing conversations with the international team how we want to approach that. So we're definitely, you're going to start seeing some movement there. We just don't necessarily have the exact, is it time frame on that.
Wonderful. All right, looks like another one just came in about email marketing software available for resellers. That is one of the products that I'm actively kind of hunting down, trying to get available for you guys. But it is on the list of what we're looking for. Also, the new SEB product. So both of those are like towards the top of my list. But kind of, I have a lot to pick from on getting products to you guys. So.
And on the product, so for VPS, is it going to be available for the resellers to try out and learn and test?
Actually, I believe, is that, do you know?
We don't currently offer a free product on the GoDaddy side, so what they're asking is when you buy the reseller plan. But go ahead.
So we can work to make that happen. And so with the product side of the house, we can go ahead and let's talk to those individual resellers and talk about what their client needs are, and let's set something up. So if we haven't done it before, it's not to say that we can't do it. Let's get that set up and see what we can do, and we'll get that test audience out there.
Okay. And then one more too. When you're launching the VPS, how many OS template and stack provision do you have to provision upon deploying?
It's a single.
It's a single one.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Cool. Well, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time and your questions. Anurup, thank you for helping us put this together. Judd, thank you for tuning in as well. It's always good looking at your beautiful face. So, thank you, everybody. Like I said, if you have any more questions, feel free to post them, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll stay online and answer questions in the forum.